mixing culture with religion. It has nothing to do with it. This is a culture. There are some cultures that are shocking around the world, and it's the way they live. Once we put religion in there, that's where the mistake is. As for the women driving in Saudi Arabia, I don't know when is it going to happen, but I think it's going to happen soon. It's a must. It's just like, you know, for a step for the kingdom forward nowadays is not it's not much for you ladies and gentlemen here in this place, but to us it's huge because of the pace that we're going. You know, up to 1962, we didn't allow female public school. It's not we, the society did not allow it. Until 1962, King Faisal said, we are going to make schools for girls, public school. He opened it. And there were lots of problems. This is only 1962. Now we have the girls who are scientists. I worked with some of the smartest. This is being, actually, we shouldn't be talking about women and men. It's all the same. It's the brain. If you have the brain, it doesn't make any difference what gender you are. And you see some of the girls, because they are challenged in Saudi Arabia, they excel. And I'm sorry to put that in this, you know, I wish they are given the same opportunity. They should be really competing with their male partners equally. And they will do excellent too. We have the geophysicists, we have the seismologists, we have the chemical engineers, and we're sending we have right now about 20,000 students from Saudi Arabia here in this country, sent within the last 3-4 years. About 30% of them girls. Now girls prefer to go to Europe because of the proximity of they can fly home and closer. And therefore most of the population of Saudi girls who are scholarship to outside the country are in Europe. And many of them are here. But we have a 20,000 student in universities since King Abdullah came on board, and he said he trusts that we will do good in our universities. He's building we are building one of the most technological universities worldwide. But he said we need about 10 to 15 years of practice to come out with what the West and America has come on. Therefore, we want to send our new generations there, put the education to them, bring them back, and then we'll take over. So,
let's turn to foreign policy. Obviously, you have a problem in the Gulf because you don't know the name of the Gulf. Is it Arabian Gulf or Persian Gulf?
No, I know it. I know it very well.
So, talk to me a bit. You have a Gulf Cooperation Council, and I noticed that there is a large representative of diplomats here today from the GCC. Now, the Gulf Cooperation Council is all the Arab countries on the southern border of the Gulf. But there's a country on the northern border of the Gulf also, which is Iran, which is not a member of the Gulf Cooperation Council. Why not?
You know, I don't want to do this with you. We had lunch, me and Dr. Kamal, and he was talking about one large country and one small country next to him. This ambassador is so angry at that small country because of the voting things, and he's always this little country and, you know, throwing rocks, and he says, what is this country? I could go up and eat it. You know, he said, and it's such a small country. I'm afraid Iran would do the same thing to some of the small countries if we do that, if we invite them to.
They have already announced that they think that Bahrain
is a part of Iran.
A part of Iran.
It's a problem. You know, through history, the Arabs and the Persian had animosity through history, and that carried on. I don't know what's the roots of that. But they really we never felt comfortable toward each other. And we put a lot of shows and saying that, hey, we're neighbors and neighbors. But we worried about them and they were worried about us. I think with all the Arab states in the GCC, you know, you look at logic and you see which one of them would start an attack on a different country. I would guarantee that even people here who knows a little bit about the GCC will tell you none of them will attack anybody. Now, you look at Iraq, you look at, not now Iraq, but the Saddam Hussein Iraq. You look at Libya, you look at Iran, you look at Syria, and you would worry about these countries. The GCC is the least worry. People would think that we're going to attack somebody or do some destruction. So Iran, on the other hand, has its paws everywhere. You know, Mr. Obama said less than a week ago, he said he put the plan of pulling the troops in 2010, start putting them and on. 2 days later, you see Mr. Rafsanjani inspecting the troops in Iraq and saying, what are we going to do when the American pulling out? As clear as that. We're worried about the Iranian influence. We hope that the Iraqis will be Iraqis, and they are. You know, not too many people know that in Iraq, even though there is Shiites and Sunnite and Christian and 1 or 2 Jews, I think they left now. They really do tolerate each other, the Shiite and Sunni. They didn't, you know, the intermarriage between them doesn't, it's something normal. It's just when Iran got in, then the Shiite and Sunni became totally different. And we have a lot of faith that the Iraqis will overcome this, and they will live as Iraqis and tolerate each other, and because they do still have a very large Christian community, and hopefully they will stay, and the old Iraqi Christian community will come back, and some of the Jews. I doubt if the Jews are going to come back. But it is Iran. At the end of the day, we worry about Iran, what they're thinking. None of the Arab countries would be a threat to Iran, but on the other direction, we don't know.
Yes, but Iran is a major problem in that case, because first of all, it is not a small country. It is 80 million people. They are building up nuclear capacity. And that nuclear capacity is not stoppable. They may not have to build a bomb, but they will build up the capacity to know how to build a bomb. And that cannot be stopped. I don't see it stoppable. And so what is your solution? If you cannot stop that, are you going to start making nuclear weapons also?
No, I hope not. And I don't think we would. I think, you know, you hear a lot of Mr. Ahmadinejad talking about nuclear. I look at the guy and I think he's he's more talk than doing things. It's not good. It's not when you see a major country in the area with its president saying these things loosely, it doesn't make you feel comfortable. But I don't think. I just hope to God. I know that the United States will not hit Iran. Just assurance. I cannot be sure, but I think the United States, especially with President Obama now in charge, they will not. The administration here in this country will not take a risk to hit the Iran. They will not be risking anybody except us. We're at risk. Now, what worries me is Israel gonna get. You know, that they get it to their head that they can do this meticulously and bomb the nuclear reactors of Iran. I hope to God they don't do that, because we don't know what would happen. And this is what worries all of us as Arab in the region, the Gulf areas. And conveniently, the Iranian built their nuclear reactors very close to the Gulf area, very close to the country. So any leak or any disaster leak like the Chernobyl